What's up, y'all? Let's talk about it. Match 23, man. I wanted to network. I wanted to get out there. I wanted to get some inspiration. So this is my feedback on what it was like. On the inspiration side, man, everybody out there had some sick ass trucks, man. I mean, their trucks were nice. And when you're talking about trucking, it's supposed to be the biggest event of the year. So if you're anybody that's in trucking, you know, a lot of the people that I follow were there, that I wanted to network with were there. And you know, I was able to meet some of the people. Hotshot Benny, I was able to link up with and meet him, shake his hand. I wanted to meet up with Gentry and Sons. Every time I went by the booth, like 10-15 times, he had a ton of fans there, and I just didn't want to wait in line, man. And it was just too crowded. But I did cop a shirt, man. So shout out those guys. I do want to link up and do something at some point with you guys. I love the channel. So shout out Gentry and them. They were there. They had a great booth. Everybody was real cool. The cab over was really dope. A cool truck. I did have a few people that I didn't get to link up with, but I got to link up with Asian Mai and to see him, meet him. Troy Massey, super huge inspiration. I got to talk to him for like 30 minutes. Dude was super cool, and he was honest, good, genuine dude. He was just like, hey man, this is what, and I asked a lot of really good questions. You know, everybody that was there, that I did get to run into. I did get to run into quite a few other people, but man, it was just a great opportunity to really reflect and kind of get some inspiration and get some new ideas. That's what you got to do in these times when things are kind of slow, is move forward on you know, what's next, what's the next 5 moves, what's the next move, where are we headed, what are we doing? And that's kind of what I wanted to go. I just been kind of, you know, not down, but just kind of uninspired to do new things and be creative. And we went through some tough times. Everybody's going through it. But I definitely got some inspiration while I was there, and figured out what we want to do, you know, which route we want to go with building a truck, why, what for, and other trucks that we want to obtain and do something with, as well as, you know, I heard a couple key points. One of them that I thought was really cool at one of the Pro Talks that Asian Mai and them were doing, and a couple other people. Somebody there said that 78% of all freight moved is local, right? So it was like last mile freight. So that really had an impact on me, because if you think about it, if you're gonna get into OTR freight, and that's, you know, 22% of the market, but local is 78 or whatever, then that tells you where you really want to be. Do you want to be, you know, niche down into a small percentile, or do you want to be in the bigger percentile? And then also talking to Troy over at Massey and the Freight, they have like 380 trucks, and the majority of their trucks, you know, 300 plus, are local work, you know. So that really had me thinking, okay, cool, you know. And then also he had the company business model. We run the owner operator model, as everybody knows. We have a few company trucks, but mostly owner operator trucks. And you know, I really found that interesting, and that he didn't really like the owner operator model. And so I was asking questions about how that works and things like that, and how he was able to grow. And what was really blowing my mind, that just is that we started on the same year. So I started my company the same time he started his company, and he was able to scale in the same amount of time that I've been in business to 380 trucks or whatever. And you know, we got it to as many as 60 this year. And you know, it's just crazy to see the ability. And I've talked to other people that have done this as well, you know, 200 trucks, whatever, that have more than us, 100, 150. And I always think, how the hell are they more ambitious? Are they harder working? Are they out there more? Do they have more of a following? How do they get to that level, right? So that's the first thing I ask when I meet somebody that's got that. And then I go look them up. You guys know I do my due diligence. I go look up Safer, FMCSA, you know, snapshots, all that stuff. I find out where they're located. Do they really have that many trucks? And do my, you know, my due diligence. But definitely inspiration from that was just, you know, how can you get to that level, what it takes. And then, you know, all the vendors there that I pick up. I mean, a lot of it is just a show, right? For vendors or marketers or product to put it out to the people. And a lot of it I already knew about the products. There was a few really cool products. I'd say a handful, you know, 5 to 10 that I really found interesting, that I didn't know about, that opened my eyes to a couple things that we're going to use in the future. But you know, mostly it's a trade show, right? I mean, other than the Pro Talks that were there to kind of be influential in helping people and answer questions, which, by the way, those guys were all great. There was a bunch of them there. I sat through as many as I could, as well as trying to get the show, and I tried to do it all in one day, which is crazy. I recommend, if you do go next year, go on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, do all the 3 days, because it's a huge facility, a lot of walking. I swear I must have walked 15 miles around that damn place, through that place, back and forth. And it was a lot, you know, trying to take it all in. It was almost overwhelming trying to compress it into one day, as well as get the information from the talks, and then try to network and meet people and talk to people. There just wasn't enough time in the day. I had a few friends there that I didn't even know were there. That's how big this place is. I went down every aisle, every booth, and they were there at just different times when I wasn't there. I tried to run into Brian Lee with Cattle Cartel. I wanted to meet him. His truck was fucking beautiful, absolutely phenomenal. A lot of guys had really good trucks there, and really, really beautiful trucks there. And I wanted to meet some of them. I tried to meet Brian Wilson with the Tractor Taxi. I could not link up with those guys. I went by their trucks outside. I went by the booths. I went by the Renegade booth. I went by a bunch of different ones. I just couldn't catch them at the right time when I was there. And it's when you walk this way and then go to the west wing, north wing, whatever, south wing, by the time you get from one end to the other, it's like you don't want to go back 10 times. So I'm gonna probably go to try to get some other shows. There's some other smaller shows that those guys go to, and link up with them. But definitely the biggest thing that I got from it is that, you know, those guys put a lot of time, sweat, blood, tears into those trucks, and a shitload of money. But they are very, 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 very beautiful trucks. And I think it's great for their image, great for their brand. And I think that if you're, you know, if you're going to be somebody in trucking, you're going to be at the who's who, you know, and you're going to be somebody to know, you got to build a truck and you got to be at the shows, because everybody goes there. And it's funny how these guys could be famous on social media or YouTube and go to Walmart somewhere or whatever and not get noticed. But you go to that show and they've got 15, 20 people waiting in line to meet them. And that's that all day, you know. I'm sure it was overwhelming for them. I know that, you know, I watched some of the stuff afterwards. The guys, Brian Lee went back to the hotel and was like, too many people. It looked like Gentry, he dipped out at the end of the day and was like, man, I need a break. And you stand there and talk to people all day long, I'm sure you do need a break. Some of the other guys was the same thing. There was a few other Instagrammers, Heavy Haul Dude, a couple other ones that I seen, but I didn't get a chance to talk to. They were disappeared too quick. I was talking to somebody else. But definitely want to link up with, you know, everybody that I can that's on social media. If you guys want to do something at some capacity, we would love to work with you and do something to link up and help, you know, both brands going forward. So, but definitely it was a show to go to. I definitely recommend you going if you haven't been. And you know, if you're in trucking, it's the place to be. It's the biggest event of the year and everybody's there. I will definitely be there. You know, next year we're going to be there for the whole 3 days. You know, we might even get a booth or partner with somebody to get a booth or something, and try to put our brand and our image out there. We're going to continue to do more and upload a lot more content. We're going to start getting into building trucks. It's been a passion of mine that I've wanted to do, and I haven't really, you know, said that I'm going to do it or honed in on doing it, but I'm going to do it. I have the space now. For those of you that do watch me, we actually just purchased our home. And that was kind of a big deal. You know, I didn't have the space at the houses that I was at. Now I have, you know, 26 acres, so we've got plenty of room to do stuff. And, you know, at the ranch, and we're gonna build a shop to put trucks in, build trucks in, and park trucks in, and things like that. So there's gonna be a lot of cool content coming. We're excited. I got my buddy Mike on board. He's gonna build a truck, so we're diving in. I'm hoping that, you know, it's a goal that we can reach by the end of the year, is to get a couple trucks and get started, so that, you know, come next year we can be out there. We might not be in the show trying to win best of show and all that, but we'll be there, you know, with our trucks hopefully, and make some moves and have something happen. And in the meantime, you know, we're continuing to grow the heavy haul division, the RGN division, and that's what we really want to kind of focus on. We do have a truck sitting right now, so if you know anybody that is looking for an opportunity, holler at me. Must have a CDL, but we've got a T680 that needs a driver, and we're going to be having a couple more. So anybody that's looking for you know, an owner operator, lease on, or looking to drive, holler at us. We'll be glad to put you guys on. But yeah, match 23, man, it was a lot. It was a big deal. It was cool, and I'm glad I went. I wasn't gonna go. I almost was like, nah, you know, fuck it. It ain't that big a deal. It's just a truck show. But I'm glad I went. I'm glad I did, and you know, I got to meet some people, shake some hands, and definitely, I think it was a good look for the business, as well as a good look for you know, for what I'm going to be doing going forward, and definitely got some inspiration from it. Those guys that, you know, won all the awards. I mean, the trucks are beautiful, guys. The trucks are absolutely beautiful, guys. It's ridiculous how nice these trucks are. And that was very inspiring to see the level of detail that these people are willing to go through to get these trucks to that level. I also got to run into Trucker G in the G's, him and his wife, and I picked up some of the hot sauce. That stuff is the shit. I've known him for a while, and we've chatted on the phone, and we've done some videos and some content together, and talked trucking, and been online back and forth. So it's cool to put a face to a name, shake a hand, and finally meet somebody. Really cool, humble person. Him and his wife are awesome. Hilarious people. If you don't know who they are, look up Trucker G, or look up the G's on Facebook, Instagram. I'll probably put a link in the video, as well as you know, Hotshot Benny, cool person. You know, Asia Mai, cool person, and then Troy Massey, super cool. Yeah, there's plenty of others that I probably just can't think of right now that I ran into, but definitely it was worth going. So if you're thinking about going next year, go. If you didn't go this year, you missed out. I think it's probably only going to get bigger as the years go on. I mean, it's been the longest show. There's some other shows throughout the year that we're probably going to start attending, smaller stuff, truck shows and things like that. But it was awesome. So we're definitely going to be there, you know, again next year. I would definitely recommend you going. It was super inspirational. If you're looking for that, you know, inspiration to get you know, your creative juices flowing and figure out what your next move is and get you some ideas, definitely go and link up. They had a lot of great, you know, everybody was there. All the factoring companies, all the insurance companies, all of the product lines that you might need, things to help you, all of the apps. The load boards, I mean, you know, the fuel, you know, discounts, everything was there. The mud flap, I mean, all kind of shit was there. So there was, you know, trailers, equipment. There was a way to see almost every aspect of every part of the industry at the show, and that was cool. So if that's something that you're looking for, definitely go next year. But I appreciate you tuning in. This is my little follow-up and kind of review and reflection of 2023 MATS in Louisville, Kentucky. It was a good show. So I definitely will be attending next year, and I'm glad I went this year. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you on the next one.